Happening on the front line, Sheriff Roy Boyd of Goliad County in Texas and Sheriff Thad Cleveland in Terrell County, Texas. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. And truly what is happening in your state is not only dereliction of duty that's playing out in full effect, it also is a huge concern on so many levels. There's national security concerns, there's fentanyl concerns. Where do you start? Where do you begin to kind of articulate what's happening right now today and what's not being done despite the 800 active military folks they think is going to solve this? I'll start with you, Sheriff Boyd.
Well, I'll tell you, the 800 military folks are going to send down there, predominantly going to be there to help usher in these people into the country. They're not going to be sent down there in order to deter illegal immigration or drugs coming across. The problem is our federal government has created this problem, and they're not going to do anything that's actually going to stop it. They're just going to help perpetuate it. And so they're wasting a lot of time and a lot of tax dollars by sending these folks down here and pretending like it's going to actually solve this problem.
Sheriff Cleveland, what's happening in Terrell County and how are you addressing it with your own resources from Texas, not the federal government, too?
Yes, ma'am. So we're the 10th largest county in the state of Texas. And land miles, it's about 2,400 square miles. We have 3 deputies, and that includes myself. We have 50 Border Patrol agents stationed here, and we've had an influx of DPS troopers, game wardens, and Texas Rangers, which has helped significantly. As we start to see this significant increase down in Eagle Pass, we will start seeing people from Mexico more than likely in our area looking to cross. It's because they're not going to cross an Eagle Pass where they look to surrender. Out here, people are looking to abscond. They're looking to get away and make their way into the United States.
And those perhaps the most dangerous, because if they're not surrendering, you have to wonder why, what the criminality is of their past and what their maybe criminality intent could be for the future. And when I've been down at the border, Sheriff Boyd, I was out down in Roma, Texas. Miguel Alamon's right there. And this was several years ago, and it's been going on and on and on. Like you said, it clearly is something that they are allowing. And as we see things like, a daycare in the Bronx having a 1-year-old die of fentanyl, Americans are just so angry, I think, with rightfully so. How can we continue to sit back and just allow our nation to be destroyed by this?
And that's exactly what we've been looking at. And that's why we've come together and formed a task force we have. Because the federal government's lack of willingness to actually secure the border and keep Americans safe from the dangers that are coming across. Governor Abbott has had to step up and take certain measures, and one of those was to provide us with funding. And we work closely with the other sheriffs and law enforcement and some of our federal partners to try to do something about it, because you're right. We're finding fentanyl right here in our own county, where we've had multiple deaths from fentanyl, and we've also apprehended a lot of people being smuggled. The cartel activity in the United States has increased drastically under the Biden administration, and it's going to continue on as long as they're in power, because this is what they want.
And, when the left talks about caring about these folks and, the humanitarian crisis, we do know a 3-year-old child drowned in the Rio Grande this week. As you mentioned, Sheriff, there is, child sex trafficking that is happening. So how can they continue to talk about how they want people to come here for a better life when they're literally having children die and be sold into slave trades just to get here?
And I'll jump on that one if you don't mind, Sheriff Boyd.
That was you, sir.
I was Border Patrol agent for 26 years. Spent the last 11 years right here in Terrell County, and we'd average 1 death a year. The last 15 months since I retired and became sheriff, we've had 24 deaths in our county. Now that pales into comparison down towards areas of the Rio Grande Valley where Sheriff Boyd's at and other sheriffs in that area and region. But we don't want to see anybody die. And as long as this administration's in power, they're going to continue to put people's lives at risk, because they're giving them that false hope that they can enter our country and be given citizenship.
It's a problem that will be with us for decades to come as we see these numbers and the people who have already infiltrated. Sheriff Thad Cleveland, Sheriff Roy Boyd, thank you both. We'll have you back. We're continuing to watch this closely and appreciate your firsthand accounts today on Newsline.
God bless you and have a great day.
Thank you so much for the work you're doing down there, guys.